What?
What's happening?
I don't know. What's happened? Is it not
Countdown.
started?
Countdown
Eh?
quit.
No,
I
it
don't
didn't.
know. Did it for
No.
me.
Okay. Is it all right now?
Looks
Are we
fine.
live?
Yeah,
Are we
I think
live?
so.
Are we alive? Yay.
I
Give
don't
me a
know how
five-
we went on the stream, but that looked fucking weird for me here. I don't know.
Pete's being
Maybe
a shit producer and telling me it
No.
wasn't working properly.
Yeah.
Are we live, everyone?
we are.
It's good. There you go. Matty Boy Scouts. Thanks, son. Do you want to be a producer? Because Pete's rubbish.
Yeah, I know. That's why you hired me.
The stated mission of modern science is to dominate and control nature. It was born of the philosophies of Francis Bacon, who suggested we could learn to command nature in action, and of René Descartes, who wrote that mankind could become the masters and possessors of nature. This was science flipped on its head, because the previous scientific philosophy saw nature as a perfect creation of God, to be observed and understood. Take, for instance, water. Without water, we would not exist. And so the true value is in understanding the nature of water so that we can flow with it, not control it. For over 20 years, Japanese scientist Dr. Masaru Emoto studied the groundbreaking science of how the molecular structure in water transforms when exposed to human words, thoughts, and sounds. Dr. Emoto would simply label a sample of water with different written words, such as love and gratitude, or I hate you. He would then freeze the water samples and capture them as they crystallized with high-speed microscopic photography. The results were astonishing. The crystals formed from water exposed to the words love and gratitude were clear, attractive, and symmetrical, and the crystals formed from I hate you were distorted, asymmetrical, and opaque. Over and over again, water samples exposed to positive intention formed the hexagonal snowflake-like patterns indicative of structured water found in nature, and samples exposed to negative intention would lose its structure and mutate, which was also found to be true with samples of polluted water. Decades of repeated experiments have clearly shown that water is transformed when exposed to human word, thought, and sound. Dr. Emoto theorized that this is because water has consciousness. Russian studies have shown that water is imprinted by the energy of its environment, and it retains memory from everything it comes in contact with, even when separated. During the discovery of the genome, Dr. Bruce Lipton was studying cellular behavior at Stanford University and discovered that our genes switch on or off based on their environment. Human beings are made of about 50 trillion cells, and each cell is its own little creature that eats, digests, reproduces, and forms communities. Each individual cell is constantly reading the quality of its environment through its outer membrane skin. This includes stressful emotions sensed via chemicals in the bloodstream. And when we are stressed, negative, or fearful, then our cells will switch into their own version of fight or flight mode. They will stop the process of self-healing and begin the process of self-defense. And conversely, when we are feeling positive emotions, our cells will be switched into self-healing, and the body will thrive. Dr. Lipton's discoveries were ignored by modern science, who opted for drugs and surgery over love and happiness. This began the field of epigenetics and answered the question of nature versus nurture. Experiments have shown that a living creature will thrive on a genetic level when nurtured. Malignant tumor cells have been reversed, and many people claim to have cured themselves of all sorts of disease, including cancer, by shifting and maintaining their mental attitude into a positive one. Official science will predictably call this spontaneous remission, but it is well documented. The cell protects itself by its membrane, which has a coating of negatively charged sugar crystals in a suspension of water. Most people think of water as being very special because of its ease of existence in 3 different states: liquid, ice, and vapor. But the water in our body is not in any of these states. The water that makes up our cells is in the gel state. Science is now recognizing a 4th state of water, known as the gel state, or structured water. This fourth state is an electropolar state, whereas some of the water becomes a negatively charged gel, and the rest, known as bulk water, maintains a positive charge and remains more like a liquid. This electropropulsion creates movement and kinetic energy. This is how the blood is moved throughout our body. The latest evidence shows that the blood is pumping the heart, not the other way around. And it's the gel state water that propels the blood. To thrive, this natural propulsion system requires a connection to the earth, sunlight, positive human connection, and peace of mind. Your body is made up of over 50 trillion cells, and each one's health is dependent upon your own. Our happiness, or lack thereof, not only affects our health, it affects the health of everyone who enters our environment. So if you'd like to make the world a better place, then learn how to be happy. Greg Reese reporting.
Good evening, everybody. And a special good evening to Mr. Smith. What a stream that was, wasn't it, Pete?
Yeah, that was good. That was great. That was nice. And a quick shower. Thank God he showers.
The man's got arms and legs, and he can type and he can drum at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. He has
I don't know
extra
how he
arms.
does it. But amazing. But yeah, I will send you another pot, Mr. Smith. Thank you for all your promotion of myself. Not that I've got any sales from it, but it doesn't matter.
As long as the people are happy, Rob.
As long as the people listen, I didn't make it for
you
money,
didn't
Pete.
get any complaints so far, so you know nobody died.
And no, and Lynn and Spanish, you've just had your pots. Let me know how you're getting on. I know Spanish is there, but he's lurking.
Very nice.
Do you reckon I could lurk him out, Pete? What do you reckon? Do you reckon we can lurk Spanish out?
Oh, the chicken. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, do the calling call.
No, I've got a new calling call. Look.
Boo! Oh, boo! Boo!
That was so good. That's him calling his work colleague.
Boo! Oh, boo! Boo!
Oh, it's too good.
Yep.
I found that one today, and I thought, yes, no fact. There he is. I knew we'd get him out, Pete. Yeah, I knew we'd get him out. Let me hide this. There we go. Yeah, you can get rid of his comment now.
I like that little clip you had there, Rob.
What, the chicken?
Yeah, that too, and the water.
And the water. Yeah. So just let's just clarify. There's been a lot of trouble about, hasn't there, in the UK?
Oh, hey, oh. I'm not supposed to talk about this, so I'm going to leave me.
Yeah, says Mr. Not a Riot Pete.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
There's been a lot of trouble. We had a heavy show. If you didn't see it, we had a bit of a heavy show on Sunday, heavy discussion. But and so I said to Pete, I want to do a really positive show, I want it all fluffy. I want it all full of love and just fluffiness, and so I thought, yeah, let's do some fluffy. Lovely. Lovely and fluffy. Lovely and fluffy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to do this tomorrow at all. So
no, you're not.
It's going to be 100% the opposite of what it is tonight.
Cookie are going to be
it's going to be blood, gore, fucking heads chopping. Yeah. I know it now.
Yeah, well, we know why, don't we? Because you're exclusively on Rumble. That's why.
Yep.
Yeah, we know. We know.
No,
You know
no,
what?
no. Look, I can be positive too. I got a nice clip as well. Yeah.
Good. Not yet,
You
though.
know. No, no,
Save
no.
it.
I'll save it.
Save
You
it.
know.
'Cause
But it's
in
a
the
positive
meantime-
one. So.
Chat tonight. Everyone's here, ready to ignite, attacking fast. We're feeling fine, no limits here.
Yeah. Who's in the chat tonight? Pete? Should we find out?
Yeah.
And of course, it was that horrible Mr. Tricky Ricky, yes, or Quickie
Kitty
Ricky,
Ricky.
as I called him.
Titty Riggy.
Titty Ricky, Quickie Ricky. I've got something for you, Rick, coming up. I've got something for the men, and I've got something for the ladies.
Ooh.
The ladies. Yeah. Because we're not sexist on this show, see? And good evening, Rick. Yeah. And good evening, the cookie. Good evening, CMB. Yes, I shall talk about the super glue option very shortly. Yeah. And Mascara Snake. Hello, mate. And the lovely Lynn. Good evening, Lynn Anderson. Hope the salve is working for you. Anyone else? We're going down. Not many people in tonight, but it might pick up, you know. And we did have Ali in. I don't know if she's still here. Good evening to you, Ali. Matty Boy Skates. He gave me a yo and a 5. It's all good. Thank you, Matt.
Yo.
And of course, the legend who is Mr. Smith. Yes, we need water. You're absolutely right, Mr. Smith. Yeah. And hello to all the lurkers as well, and the Spanish chicken, of course. Well, you all knew he was there because I played that little bit. What show is this? Where is Rob? And what have you done with him? Says Mr. Smith. What?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Hey?
You're all positive.
Hey?
Yeah.
Oh, and Stewie's here. Hey, Stewie.
Stewie.
Oh, Stewie. Good evening. What do you mean I'm all positive? I'm always positive. What are you talking about, Pete?
No, that's true.
Actually, I've got less positive since you've been my producer.
No, you become more real.
Ooh. Right, let's do the introduction then. Let's go to my notes. Yes, welcome to the Positive Health Freedom Surgery Show with me, not a Dr. Robert, and not a producer Pete. Today we have some news, some memes, questions, music, and even the legendary Not a Pub quiz right at the end. And of course, we will be interacting with the chat as you help make this show. Yeah, you do. So, blimey, Pete.
Yeah, I'm on it.
That's very good. I didn't even ask you to do that.
No, I know.
I'm shocked. Oh, I don't want to get rid of you. Hang on, let's remove this from the studio. There we are. Yeah. So good evening, everyone. So what do I do? What do I normally tell you? Oh yeah. So I normally tell you about my week. Let me give you an allotment update. Yeah, I've even got a little 1-minute video just to share with you. Some of you have probably seen it, but some of you may not have seen it. So here's a very quick allotment update. Where is it? Let me have a look. Ah, the wonders of live streaming. That's the one. Yeah, I can't even find the bloody thing now.
Preparation, you mean?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Where is it? Oh, there we go. This one. Finally finished putting all the bark down, and I've planted some roses here. I've got some lavender there. Got some lovely peppers coming on. There we go. Look, some peppers. Courgettes are coming on as well. See them down here. Try not to spike myself. There we go. And the tomatoes slowly. My dwarf beans are coming on. Even though they got attacked by the bugs, they're still growing because they're strong. And my runner beans are starting to grow as well. And look at the sweet corn. electroculture is working. This is the best sweet corn on the whole site. It's amazing. Different with my Monge 2. Some of it's coming up, some of it's not. And pumpkins and some cucumbers. Anyway, lovely. Finally, some sunny weather. Cheers. Yeah, it's coming on. Done some more work down the allotment today. And here's a couple of beauties. Yes. These are my These are my white courgettes. I did post a picture. There was one that was literally about that much bigger than this one. And it's in my fridge right now. And I've been eating it this week. And so those are my white courgettes. They're lovely. I've got my yellow ones as well. These are, yes, exactly, Lynn. Yeah, that's what all the girls say, Lynn. Yeah, so and I would have shown you some of my beans, but I ate them tonight, and they were bloody delicious. They were really, really delicious. So I'm loving my allotment at the moment. Did this week, my partner and I, what we did was we'd got rid of one of the compost bins, and we've decided to have, because it's a very sunny spot where I am. We've decided, I live in a flat, Pete. And so I've got no garden whatsoever. So I've decided what I'm going to do is have an area where we can sit. And what we're going to do is I've covered it in tarp at the moment. So I'm going to leave that probably maybe till spring, and then lift the tarp because the ground is absolutely solid at the moment. Lift the tarp, and then I'm going to put some cardboard down, and then get some topsoil, and then I'm going to seed it with grass, and that's going to be my little grassy area, and I can sit my grassy arse on the grass, and enjoy the sunshine. So yeah, we're going to have a few chairs down there. It's going to be like my little garden, Pete.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
No one's,
nice little retreat.
Yeah. I've had some really positive comments as well, actually, from people. People have said, "Wow, your allotment's so tidy and neat." I said, "Listen, all I've done is I've just made it easier to manage, because I see people are down there and they're weeding all the time. They're weeding, or they're fighting with the clay soil, because that's what it is over here. It's very clay soil." But it's working. All of it's working. My Monge 2 is being a bit rubbish. I've got, but then again, so's my partner's in her polytunnel. So certain things haven't been growing. The tomatoes are growing; they're coming on. The sweet corn is doing amazing, as I said in that video. But the sad thing is, so now moving on from all of that. I was tucking in some sweet corn this week, and I cracked this. Now, I had crowns when I was about 15. What happened was, when I was about 15, I was working in they used to call them buffets then, right? So it was called the Roundel Buffet, and it was in the RF Museum in Hendon, in London. And we'd been doing a function the night before for some posh knobs, and someone had played a trick on one of my friends, which I didn't know about. So he thought, I'm going to play a trick on Rob. So he comes up with this bottle of wine. Imagine this is a bottle of wine. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? He comes up with a bottle of wine, and he goes, Rob, look, they've left some wine. So, and me being, suspicious and not believing him, said, no, I don't believe you. He goes, yeah, smell it. So as I went like that, he went like that, and he went dunk into my teeth, and he smashed all my two front teeth. And at 15, that was just horrible to experience, Yeah. Both, well, I'm talking to you, Pete. You had a similar experience. You had a bad experience with teeth as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and eventually I had them crowned by a guy who went on to work in Harley Street. And so what happened this week? I was crunching into my favorite vegetable, which is sweet corn. And I went, ah. And then suddenly, half my tooth came out, or actually the whole crown came out, and it broke the bit in the middle. So yeah, it wasn't. I went out the next day. I bought some glue, dental glue, and let me adjust this. There we go. Oh, look, a bit more colourful now as well. So I bought some dental glue, and I had to keep doing it. It just wouldn't stay in. So eventually, I went through the whole thing of trying to find a NHS dentist. Forget it. And then I went through locally trying to find an emergency dentist, or when the next appointment was. No, forget it. And so eventually, I found one in a big town or city, should I say. Milton Keynes is now a city, which is about 40 minutes away, near my mum here. And I found one there, and I went there this morning. And after £200 of my British pounds, my 200 British pounds, they cemented it all back in. And what did they do? How do they dry it, Pete?
With the UV.
With UV, yeah. They dried it with UV and everything, and it's been fantastic. But yeah, it hasn't been very nice. And if anyone listened to the show that I did with Pete on Sunday, you can sort of hear me struggling to speak properly.
No, it was nice as still came on.
Yeah.
It was brave of you.
And I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't have done the show today. Now, I just want to say this, right, is that I know Pete doesn't show his face. He does occasionally. Okay, but I think this show,
only on occasion.
On occasion, he gives me the bird. But I'm one of these people. I think that you interact. You'll see more of me and more of
your
my
handsome face. Yeah.
More of my sincerity about who I am by showing my face. If I can't do that. And also, if I'm struggling to speak, I wouldn't have done the show. And I mean, Sunday was an example of that. I did struggle, but it was important to do the show. So I will be, as long as my teeth stay in, I'll carry on doing the shows. But it's hastened the idea to go abroad and
get it done.
And get it done. Yeah, especially when I got quoted today for a temporary denture. And
that's nuts.
It was £2,800 for a temporary denture that goes right across here, and they said it might last 6 months to a year. It's like, what? No, I'll just go abroad and have implants or whatever, you know. But we'll see anyway. We'll see. Your speakers will suffer, says Cookie. Yeah. All that whistling, yeah, absolutely. Anyway, what have you been up to?
You can filter that out. You can filter out the whistle. You can filter the whistle out if you want. You know,
I just honestly, Pete, I because I just lost them, right? It just fallen out. It was really hard to like just be able to communicate properly. You know?
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah, I know you do. I know.
It's
CMB asked the question, didn't he? He asked the question. So yes, it was. It wasn't super glue, but I was tempted. I was tempted.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did.
Good you didn't. You could get burns from that.
Yeah. But you get desperate. I mean, it's so you did that story about dentists a couple of weeks ago, didn't you? You did that, you know, how difficult it is to find a dentist.
Oh, yeah. Right now in the UK, it's like madness. Yeah.
It is absolute madness.
There's a huge waiting list.
I was saying to Pete earlier, I was saying, you know what, right? You pay into the NHS. You pay when you're working, you pay your national insurance. And now it's got to the point where you can't even get a dentist. I mean, it's I was struggling to find a private dentist, let alone anything else. CMB, teeth are precious. Luckily, we have the NHS. Yeah, very funny.
Yeah, they are like the tooth fairy. Like,
Yeah, that's the tooth fairy you're talking about. CMB, very good, Pete. And Mascara Snake, hello.
hello.
Is he in a different chat then, or something, or is he just come along? Mascara, have you got?
He's on YouTube.
Have you got all your what is it when you sign up, you subscribe to someone, all notifications? Have you got all your notifications on for this show? Because you said you didn't get a notification, so maybe it was just that. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I've just been waffling on. What have you been up to, Pete?
I've been enjoying the weather. It's been nice.
You've it finally broke here today. We had rain for the first time we've had for 2 weeks, and he's not here because he said he might not be here, but he might be here. He might be lurking.
Oh, he's lurking. James.
Yeah, we had some of your rain, James. So
well, we get a little bit of that tomorrow, I think. Well, I think from Monday or Sunday or something like it's going to be 30 again. So yeah, it's been hot today, like 28.
Has
29,
it been humid?
30.
It's been really humid.
Fairly, yeah.
Really, really humid. You know, I mean, I've only got, I don't know about you, I'm only sleeping with a sheet on me at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very comfortable. Yeah. Really.
Well, I like the nights. The nights are still very clear, so not much cloud, so they cool down fairly good. So
yeah.
It's all right. It's doable.
I did some, I went to bed last night and I was just looking at the stars like this. And I see one of the ones like twinkling in the distance. I thought, I'll just zoom into it with my camera. And I zoomed in and I videoed it. And I was just taking some photos whilst I was videoing. And some of the shapes were incredible that it's giving off, the vibrational shapes.
Yeah.
Just absolutely incredible. Some maybe that's a planet or something. I don't know. I don't know whether it's a planet or a star. But it was, how some of them blink, don't they? You must see.
They shimmer. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. But I zoomed
it's the atmosphere.
Yeah, I zoomed. Yeah, but then why doesn't it do it for all of them?
It depends on the intensity of the star.
Yeah, so it might be a planet.
Yeah, or pulsar or something stronger than, just a star.
I don't know. Yeah, you probably know.
There are a couple of those twinkly things. There's one that goes red to blue is like
I've seen that one as well.
Yeah,
I've seen that one. Yeah, I've seen that one. But yeah, so today is all about being positive, and so I thought, I'll download some, as Pete's having really hot weather. It's hot. Yeah, it's hot, baby. It's hot. I even saw Pete's dog lying down in the background.
Yeah, he's hot too.
Yeah, he was like, I'm really hot. I'm really hot.
Well, not right now. He's looking at me like, give me something.
Have you, Pete, have you heard about the new ice cream flavor?
Get vanilla ice cream, put olive oil on it, and sea salt. I don't know, so many people that I've showed it to, I've brought to the dark side.
All right, let's give this a go. So here's the final result. Oh, that's so good.
I think I gotta try this myself. All right, so I got vanilla ice cream. You wanna hand me a spoon? Thanks. Fucking chicken foot. All right. Thanks. Okay, we're gonna try this. Okay, so we got our olive oil and we got our sea salt. Let's try this out here. I don't know how much I'm supposed to put on. I feel like I'm being trolled right now. I feel like I'm being trolled.
This is a real bloke.
Right, I'm gonna make my chef wife eat some too. All right, here we go.
What are you eating?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
It's actually pretty good.
Why? What the fuck? Why did that work? I don't know why that worked. I don't.
Would
Have
you
you
try
tried?
it, Pete?
I would.
I-
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to try it. I am going to try it, but I mean, I don't even know what ice cream. Nice salt grinder. Yeah, I like
yeah,
that.
man, like a power tool. I loved it.
Yeah, yeah. You got to invest in decent grinders, haven't you? Like salt and pepper grinders, especially if you get the whole peppers. You got to invest in a decent one. Yeah, I have Marks and Spencer's one,
Of course.
but they are manual ones. But I do like those. If anyone wants to donate to the show a electric grinder, just email me at
CBD
CBD.
oil. Yeah.
Dear. Poor kids. What's that Spanish? Poor kids swearing like that at the whether he wasn't swearing. Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he
yeah.
wasn't he? Yeah. But he was a bit of a man. He was a geezer. He was a geezer Spanish. You know? He's a sort of bloke, you know, that's gonna go
Boo! Oh, boo! Boo!
I like it.
oh dear. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, you've had a good week, Pete. You've had a good week.
Yeah. I have.
Yeah. Nothing other than just being hot. You haven't done anything else.
No, nothing special that I would like to report here. No.
Hey.
No, just normal, regular work and shit. So.
Oh, okay.
No, boring stuff.
Just boring stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My life is pretty boring normally. You
Is
know.
it? That's probably why you did the show Sunday.
Yeah.
You should come over and, join the crowd, Pete.
Mm-hmm. To the UK. Yeah.
Come over to the UK and join the crowd.
Which one? Which side?
Mr. Not a Riot, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think it's time we had a tune from this
I'm
fella,
in
don't
love
you?
with him and I intend to marry him.
A drummer. Not even a real musician. He just makes a noise.
You don't know what you're talking about.
If he played the violin or the piano, anything that made sense, but the drums.
The drums!
And the track is called Lost Without You. Let's see what happens.
Up all night by myself, trying to figure ways to you. Your voice stuck in my brain, we never got to see it through. And I know I feel more pain if we're speaking truth. Cause when the day comes I still lose, So will I feel it again? I just don't know. And I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so low? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. When the day comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know. And I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so low? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know. at our time, hoping that we did it right. And give me any reason to call you up late at night. And we know it's for the best, I won't put up the fight. 'Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know. And I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so long? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. Looking back at our time, hoping that we did it right. And give me any reason to call you up late at night. And we know it's for the best, I won't put up the fight. 'Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know. And I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so long? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know. Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know. And I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so long? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know.
Yes. I love that. I love it when he does that. When he knows he's got it just right. Like he got it
When
right.
he nailed
tonight.
it. Yeah.
He nailed it. He knows he's nailed it. And I love that. And that's You know what, Pete? I was looking for the applause and I couldn't find them. Maybe I've lost them somewhere. I'm a boomer, though. Come on, you got to give me a break. Well done, Mr. Smith. Someone put the link in for Mr. Smith's show, please, because he deserves to be linked. And I haven't done it. So can someone please put the link in for Mr. Smith? What a great tune by Millbrook, I believe that was, and Mr. Smith on drums, and Without You, I think that was what it was called. But banging tune, yeah. Tonight, Mr. Smith, your sound was amazing, absolutely amazing. If you didn't watch Mr. Smith's show tonight, go and watch it. It was a fantastic stream. It really was. And he even manages somehow, in the middle of drumming, he types.
He reads the chat and types.
I just don't know.
He was
That
responding.
man is a multitasker. I'm sure
He
he's
has 3 eyes, 3 arms, and 3 legs. Let's be real.
I think he's an octopus.
He's an alien. Yeah.
He could be an alien. I like this comment as well from Paula. I'd love to dust those drums with glitter and purple paint power. Smithy would look awesome after a session.
Mm-hmm.
Piss myself laughing. Is that a euphemism, Paula?
Glitter Smithy.
I think Smithy's got a lot of fans out there. What do you reckon, Pete?
I'm a fan.
No, I mean lady fans I'm talking about.
Oh.
Well, He might be that. I'm not sure, but yeah. I reckon he's got a lot of fans. I'm sure a few ladies would
Well,
like to
I like
see.
his drumming. I'm not looking at his ass. Rob.
I'm sure a few ladies would like to see the man behind the mask.
Ooh.
Yeah. You're like this, Mr. Smith. Yeah. You're like this, aren't you? Look. Hey. Yes. Yeah. You want to get one of these? Have you got one?
You play that one a lot, I can see.
Yeah. No, I just haven't bothered putting it away, Pete. or the vinyl.
Uh-huh.
A quick update. My mum is doing amazing, by the way, everyone. Again,
very good.
Thank you for all your best wishes.
Very
She told me she went for a walk around the block with her wheelie thing to help to support her the other day, all on her own. She's doing absolutely amazing. No heart pain anymore. She's just getting better. I mean, I'm just so made up, and I know that it's because of all the positive love and energy that was sent from everyone that watches the channel. And so thank you all for that. I know it's made a big difference. And one person in particular, thank you for writing a letter to my mum. That was really lovely of you. Really, really lovely of you. I'm going to ask you a question. So this is the part of the show where I'd like to ask you a question. I prepare some questions for you. Pete, you still haven't done the AI. Here's a question for you. Yeah, we've got to work on that.
I got to make a question thing. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do. I should have reminded you actually. So
you should have.
Yeah, I call this part of the show your question. So here's a question for you. Here's a question. Your question. Have you ever had an extraterrestrial or ghostly experience? And it got me thinking last night when I was looking at the stars and everything. And I thought I can make that question for the chat actually. So have you ever had an extraterrestrial or ghostly experience? Answers in the chat, please. So let me tell you about my one. First of all, when I was a kid, I know that my brother and my dad, when we were in Cornwall at one point, you'll love this one, Pete. They actually saw a UFO stable on the ground and then take off.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
They didn't see any aliens, but they saw some sort of craft on the ground, and it lifted up, and then it went and shot off. And so it's not first-hand experience; it's second-hand experience. I've got one as well. My cousin and her husband were in I think it was the island of Minorca at the time, where they have a villa there. Very rich. Got a villa there. And I have been there actually. It's lovely. And they were sitting on the balcony, and what happened was suddenly Colin saw a light in the water. Okay, so he pointed to he said to his wife June. He said, June, can you see that light in the water? And so June saw it, and then all of a sudden, apparently, some object came out of the water, hovered on top of the water, and then it went like that. It just.
I've seen videos of that. Like that.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It literally just shot out the sea. And my other my ghostly experience was when my dad passed, and it was about maybe 6 months or so after my dad had died, and my boys were quite young, and I'd split up from my wife at the time. I was renting a house, a 2-bedroom house, and when my sons I'd have my sons at the weekend. They would sleep in my double bed, and I'd go and sleep in the other room, which had a single bed. And what happened was I suddenly I woke up in the night, and I had this overwhelming urge to go and see what was check on my sons. So I get out of bed and I walk into the bedroom, and all of a sudden I see this white figure, sitting at the side of my son's bed, okay, with his arm like over the headboard,
Mm.
you know, over my two sons.
Nice.
And I immediately had this thought that must be my dad, right?
Mhm.
And it was like, you know, it was like is it an apparition? Would you call it an apparition or
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. But it was, and something just told me, and I was just about to say something to him, and then suddenly I was back in my bed again, like that. In no time, I was just back in my bed again. I thought, well, that was a bit weird, right? So I goes back to sleep, and then what happens? Yeah, I wake up again, right? And I've got this urge to go into my son's bedroom again. So I get up, I walk down the hall, and as I open the door, right, there's this white apparition figure, which I knew was my dad, right? Okay, I just knew it was my dad. Okay, and I turned around to him, and I, okay, so I thought I said to him, right, I went, Dad, what are you doing here? But what I was actually doing, I realize now, is I wasn't talking. I was thinking it, and I was talking to him, right? And he turned around to me and he said, "I'm always here. I'm always here. I'll always be here." And I went, "Yeah, but you're dead." I said to him, "You're not meant to. Yeah, I don't get it. You're dead." And he said, "No, I'm always here." And immediately I had this one question. I don't know why. So you'd think, well, what would you say to someone like that? And the first thing that came into my head was, I said, "So what's the big man like upstairs?" And then bang, I'm back in my bed again, right? So I gets out
Wrong
of bed.
question. Fucking hell. Damn it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I gets out of bed again. I goes into the bedroom and there's nothing there. Right? The story doesn't end there. Okay. The story doesn't end there. So the next day I ring up my cousin and I said, "Did you have any dreams about Dad last night?" No. I ring my brothers. "Did you have any dreams about Dad last night?" No. I said, okay, fair enough. So I just told them what had happened to me and everything. And they said, "Oh, it was probably a dream, Robert, you know." And my mum was away at the time and she was with her partner, Bill, I think it was. Yeah, it was Bill at the time. And no, in fact, it must have been years later because she was with Bill. Yeah, I remember that now, right? So it was years later because she'd come up and moved to Milton Keynes shortly after that, and then she met Bill. So it was a good year or so after he'd died and he'd passed. And then, so I picked my mum up from Luton Airport, and she's in the car, and I said, "Did you have a nice holiday, Mum?" She said, "Yeah, it was lovely. It was really, really lovely." She said, "But the weirdest thing happened to me." I said, "What was that then?" She said, "I had a dream about your dad." I went, "Right, okay." I said, "What happened?" She said, "Well, I woke up," she said, "and your dad was sitting on the end of the bed with his arm around the headboard." I said, "Mum, was this Thursday?" And she went, "Yeah." And I went, "All right, just speak to my cousins, speak to my brothers." I said, "Because, Mum, this is what's happened to me." So exactly the same time, okay, my mum had a similar experience of what was my dad appearing to her, and yeah, I'll never forget it. I will never ever forget that experience. It was absolutely incredible.
You're convinced. You're not a believer. You're a knower.
Yeah. I mean, that's come on. That the chance of that being a coincidence.
Oh no,
for
you
me-
hear this a lot. Like, you know, I was wondering, like, are you into this stuff? Have you heard, you know, because it's such a kind of a cookie cut thing that happens a lot. Right?
Well, I mean, that for me, that was first-hand experience. The UFOs was a second-hand experience. I've never seen a UFO. I've seen strange lights going up and down in the sky, and you could say that's a UFO, I suppose. But I've never had a first-hand experience like my brother and my dad did, where they saw and my cousin, where they saw something come out of the water and fly off. And what about you, Pete? Have you? No, you haven't. I think you said, haven't you?
I have many.
Oh, you have. So what happened to you then?
Well, it's a lot, but I think it started as a kid.
Yeah.
Started. But the most vivid one, the most recent one, was in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in Germany in a farmhouse.
Right.
There. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I had the urge to look out the window. And I thought, okay, let me check the window. So I stand out, open the curtains. And I look out, stare out over the field. It's a big acre like there. And I could see the next door neighbor's house. And at the back of it was a fucking UFO. Slanted at 45-degree angle. And it was hovering there. And I was looking at it and I was thinking, that's a fucking UFO. And at the moment that I thought it, that thing zipped straight into my face, like in front of my window.
What?
Right? Oh, yeah. And after that, I blanked out. I don't know what happened. So I wake up like 15 minutes later because I saw the time as when I went for a piss, right? And I still had to go for a piss. So I woke up again. And I looked at my clock and I'm like, what the fuck just happened, right? Because it was still in my mind, like I saw something.
Yeah.
So I went to the window and I could see there's a line of trees, small ferns, right? They're not that high. They're like 6 meters, so 60 foot, 6 meters, right?
Yeah.
And one of them, the top was gone. The top was chopped off, like gone. Like
it was.
I could almost see the spaceship, like right there, like because it was hovering at that height, and so it did do some physical damage as well. Like, okay, confirm it. I know that fucking happened because there's a 15-minute, like I don't know what happened. I don't know how I got back in my bed. I don't know, all that shit. So that's kind of freaky. But
so hang on, was there a time? Did you lose some time or something?
Yeah. Like at least 15 minutes.
Okay, you've just reminded me a bit more of my story.
Mm-hmm.
When I woke up in the morning, I'd lost my clocks next to me had lost an hour. It was completely an hour behind.
Yeah.
It was. I just thought
I got a crazier story even than that, but it's not a direct my story. It's my best friend that happened to him.
Yeah,
but he was driving on a highway, right?
Yeah,
with a friend, and he was sitting next to his friend. His friend was driving, and he sees a orange orb kind of a thing next to his car.
Yeah,
and he's pointing at it. Look at that! What's that? Right? And they're checking it out, and that thing comes flying over. Like close to them, like really close to the car. And they start freaking out. Like, what the fuck is that? Right? Then the thing goes up, flies behind them. Right? And they're like, what the hell? And then, boop, there's an hour time loss. They don't know. And they wake up on the side of the road in the car, like miles from where they can remember where they were.
Wow.
Like miles. Yeah. Like totally somewhere different, and they look at each other, and they never really fucking spoke about it, like because they both freaked out, and they lost an hour. So that missing time thing, that's something that
that's interesting because
it is,
and that's what you've reminded me.
Anal probed, probably.
My dad would never talk about it. My dad would never talk about it. My brother would talk about it, but not in front of my dad.
Right.
He said, let's not talk about this ever again. He told my brother.
Orbs I see almost every day, like almost on a daily.
Or how would you describe orbs?
Those light thingies. Those light things that zip over the sky, in the sky, like make funny movements or
Yeah.
Almost daily.
You get those a lot there, do you?
Yeah. I don't know if it's me or if it's the region or whatever, but I see them a lot. I filmed one the other day. Yeah.
Oh, you should share it, man.
I'll look it up.
What are people saying in the chat? Have you?
Many people have.
Come on, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Go on, Pete. Let's pull some out. Straight away, Paula, look, I've had an extra testicle experience. Sat on the beach, poor man, it fell out of his shorts.
There are some real good ones. Yeah.
What? No, Paula, that was the Olympics. That was the opening ceremony of the Olympics.
That's a female
A Spanish chicken. The VAT and tax man visited me when I was sleeping. Hang on. Did I like? Let's go.
Yeah,
Keep
so
going.
Sleep paralysis. I had that too. Sleep paralysis.
Old
I had
thing.
that.
Yeah, my partner gets sleep paralysis. Yeah, my partner gets sleep.
Yeah, I had that
I'm
one.
always
Yeah.
asleep though when it happens.
Scary as fuck. Scary as fuck when it happens.
Yeah. Yes. He's watching
This is
you wank.
you're dead.
I don't do that mascara snake. I've got other people to do it for me.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Oh, Mr. To Goose. Goose to Steve is here.
Oh yeah, he's been here ever since the beginning. You missed
No,
him.
no, he wasn't.
Yes, he
No,
was.
wasn't.
Yes, he was. You missed
Well,
him.
I didn't see his name.
I've seen things in the sky I can't explain. And I have experienced weird things in broad daylight in the woods. I can't label something I've no name for. Right.
That's men flashing you, Paul.
Chicken has seen loads of UFOs.
I've seen loads of it. Pick it up, scratch head. What is this unidentified fucking object? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that too now. Like, you know.
Mr. Smith says one ghost, two UFOs. The ghost was in a pub cellar when I was tapping barrels. One UFO was at a gig I did. Around 30 of us were stood on the roof of a hotel and watched it nearly for 2 minutes before it flew off some kind of warp speed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Pete, you got anally probed.
Probably, yeah. It was a short one, 15 minutes. Maybe it wasn't good enough.
Another other UFO was on the moors with a friend, maybe 2 miles away, stayed low and then flew straight up and disappeared in less than a second.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, if you look online, you see a lot of those kinds of videos, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paula says, "Ghost, not sure. Think I go into another dimension as I hear things." Well, you are a witch, Paula.
Yeah.
I
she has the night stuff, right? Where did we go?
I did see that on the beach. It scared me. I was only young. He burnt it red. I told my gran. She told me not to look. Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah, my girlfriend saw one, big one, like a huge orange orb.
Stop boasting.
Yeah, a lot of people seen it. Once you start talking about this, you know, you find out that a lot of people have seen stuff like, oh yeah, I've seen weird lights, I've seen, but yeah, structural crafts and alien beings. No, I've seen a craft, but yeah,
yeah,
it could be the CIA for all I know. That anal probe me.
The idea of having your dead relatives watching you have a wank would be quite off-putting for most people.
It's not my proudest fap, I have to say.
True, Snake, but sick up for your dad. He stuck up for you. Oh dear! It's 9 o'clock already, Pete.
Oh, great!
It's 9 o'clock. That means that we can move over to the Rumble in the Jungle and play some.
I gotta. I got a positive clip for YouTube before the end.
You got a positive clip even.
Yeah.
Go on then. Give us a positive clip before we go. Go on.
Okay.
an unpublished experiment that we did at the Pear Lab, which we called Plant RNG. You have a room with no windows, and you have a house plant that needs light to grow. You have a single growing light up on the roof. The growing light can turn in one of 4 quadrants, and which quadrant that light is showing is controlled by a random number generator. So you put the plant in one corner of the room. The light has an equal chance of shining in all 4 quadrants. But you give it enough time, and what you find is the light actually shines far more often on the plant than on the other coordinates. It's as though life itself, even life or consciousness in something as simple as a houseplant, bends probabilities in the physical world in the direction of what it needs, in the direction of its growth and its evolution. I see that experiment as profound because it shows to me what consciousness does in the world.
It's the observer effect, right? And even plants have it. Or maybe it's the scientist looking at the plant, right, and observing what's going on. But yeah, you're muted, Boomer.
Yes, Pete. Yeah, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
great.
That's
fascinating.
consciousness for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
cool.
consciousness. That then
Yeah.
again, it comes back to the first video I showed at the beginning about water and memory and things like that. You know, I think everything has some sort of conscious, some sort of consciousness. Be it water.
Yeah, but even
whatever.
the light in the room.
Yeah.
That's mind bending kind of. But yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it does. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's been lovely here on YouTube, but it's time to say
positive. I loved it.
It's time to say goodbye to YouTube. So we're going to say goodbye to YouTube. And hang on, wait, I've got to do my boomer bit yet, and and remove it. Right. Thanks everyone on YouTube. Pete, can you put the link in for Rumble, please?
I shall. Hang on. Yeah.
And we're going to say goodbye to YouTube, and we're going to go over to Rumble and
play some tunes.
Play some funky tunes where we won't get bans and things like that, and told you're not allowed to do this. Hope you've enjoyed the show. If you are enjoying the show, please hit the like button and please subscribe even to the YouTube channel. I'm thinking more, Pete, going over to Rumble exclusively, to be honest with you, because my figures aren't even going up on. I'm stuck at 330.
Yeah, so are we, and we have been like that for years and years and years and years.
It's not going anywhere. So there you are. But anyway, goodbye, YouTube. We're going to go over to Rumble, and we'll be back next week. All right. Before you leave. Exactly, Steve. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.